So that means we can all do super well. So practice test 1, we got the last 2 problems to go. So number 12. If x plus 2 is one factor, find the other factors. Any ideas how we might start this problem? It's really easy. Synthetically divide, that's exactly right. So out here in the box, I'm going to put a what? -2, very good. And then across the top will be 1, -6, -25, -18. And that will be a 0 on the end. I will get a 0, but it'll be this part that I'll want to check out. So here we go. So that's going to be -2, -8, 16, -9, 18, and there it is. That's exactly what we thought would happen. That's what has to happen if x plus 2 is a factor. Now, where are the other 2 factors going to come from? Right here, right? So this is x squared minus 8x minus 9. What are the other 2 factors? X minus 9 plus 1. How could I check that if I really didn't know, if I really was unsure? Just FOIL it and make sure that's what you get. These are the other 2 factors. So one of the factors was x plus 2. They gave that to you. So we just divided it out with our division, and then we took the leftover part right here and factored that. That's how we found the other 2 factors. Oh, now we got a blast from the past. The height is given by this equation, so we've seen that before. That's our vertical motion. We've seen it before. Find when the ball reaches its maximum height. Now, see that squared right there? And the negative out in front? What shape is that? A parabola opening down. So whatever this thing looks like, it's that. Isn't this the point that represents the maximum of everything? That's the maximum, right? That's the highest point. That point is also called the vertex. And how do we find the vertex? Negative b over 2a. So x equals negative b over 2a, which in this problem would be negative 32 over negative 32, or 1. So this point right here is 1 comma something. And to find that, I'll plug in. So if I plug in 1, remember we square first. So that'll be negative 16 plus 32 minus 4. 12. Does that make sense to everybody? There's nothing new there. We're just finding the vertex. But now we have to answer the question. So the question is, when does the ball reach its maximum height? This point right here is going to give me the answer, but it's either going to be the 1 or the 12. What do you think? Look at your original equation. What does a T stand for? Time in seconds? Problem tells you that, doesn't it? T is in seconds. So isn't that the time part of it? So T, which I used as X, right? That's where X normally is. That is your time. So when does it reach its highest point? 1 second. What does the 12 represent? How high it goes. So that's 12 feet. So if the question said, what is the maximum height? Then the answer would be 12 feet. Your vertex is always going to give you two numbers, obviously, X, Y. One of them is going to be the time, and the other one is going to be the actual height. Okay? Well, joyful good news, there's another practice test. Here we go. Let's look at number 2. And before you start complaining, just remember, this is exactly what your test looks like. And this one actually starts with the problem we just did. Different versions of the test, different arrangements of problems, but all these problems are the same. So you're going to have a question just like this. Find the maximum height of the ball. So what does the word maximum clue you into? Vertex. I need the vertex. I need the vertex. So x equals negative b over 2a. So this time, x is 2. Now, I'll take that 2 and plug it in. Now be careful, when you plug it in, you square first. Always, always, always square first. So what's 2 squared? 4 times negative 16 is negative 64. 64 times 2 is 128, and then plus 6. I think that's 70, but I'm going to let you double check. Is that right? 70?
Yeah, that's right.
Now that's the vertex. That's great. Let's answer the question. Find the maximum height of the ball. 70 feet. That's the height. What does this 2 represent? When it reaches its highest point. So if the question is, when is it at the highest? The answer is 2 seconds. If it's what is the highest point, it's 70 feet. Everybody got that? Okay. All right, if x minus 3 is one factor, find the others. Okay, so pause for a second. Do you remember what you're supposed to do on this one? What? We divide, don't we? So what do we put out here in the box? We're on problem number 2. What goes in the box? 3. And then 1, 1, negative 17, and 15. Now what is absolutely going to happen? You're going to get a 0. But you don't care about that this time. What you care about is this part right here and how that breaks down. So, do your division. And then, what's this right here? X squared plus 4x minus 5. Then we will very carefully factor that. We don't screw this up. We know how to factor that. X plus 5 minus 1. You want to find 2 things that when you FOIL it together give you this. And that will. So here's the answer. These are the other two factors. It says find the other factors. There they are. You feel okay about that?
Yeah.
Now we've got a synthetic division problem. Just straight synthetic division. What goes, look at number 3, what goes in the box? 1. And then be very careful. We start with x to the 5th, but there's no x to the 4th. Negative 3x cubed, no x squared, 9x and 2. Did you listen to me as I was writing those out? So I knew where to put the zeros? So here we go. You do it and I'll do it and see if we get the same answer. It's so easy to make a mistake on this. Will you get 12 out there? Okay, so what's my answer? I gotta put something down. On the test, it'll actually have 2 blanks. It'll say quotient and remainder. So, what's the remainder? 12. This guy right here is the remainder. And then the original problem, remember, started as x to the 5th. So this is gonna be 4x to the 4th, and 4x cubed, and x squared, and x and 10. So this is the 4th, this is x cubed, this is x squared, this is plain x, this is plain number. So on the test, it'll actually say, what's the quotient, what's the remainder? Okay, you lively ones, here we go. What am I going to do here with number 4? How am I going to start this? Jacob, do you have any idea how we might begin number 4?
Start by writing x plus 2.
Absolutely, we want to start by writing the factors. And since there are 3 x-intercepts, there will be 3 parentheses. And they will be x plus 2, x minus 3, and x minus 5. Are you okay with that? Now, I've graded a million of these. No one ever misses that part. But the part that gets missed is you gotta put the squares. You gotta check out the squares. So look at how the graph behaves. Are there any bouncing points? There's a bouncing point at -2, isn't there? So that's squared. And I think there's another bouncing point at 5. So that one's squared. Are we okay with that? What in the world is that 1/6 going to be used for? To plug in. And when I plug in, I am looking for that guy right there. So I'll put 6 in for y and 1 in for x. Now you're not going to have a calculator, but you can do this. This is not hard. 1 plus 2 is 3, squared is 9. 1 minus 3 is just -2. 1 1 minus 5 is 4. Square root is 16. So all that's multiplied, so that's going to be a negative something. Let's see. 32 times 9. I got 288. And then I'll divide. So 2 goes into there 3 times. And 2 goes into there 144 times. And 3 goes into there once. And 3 goes into that 48 times. Oh, just did a ton of work. Look at all that I just did. Is that the answer though? No. That's got to come right back up here. And this is the answer. I think I'm going to stop on that one because I don't have time to do the whole next problem. So we'll stop there, and that's where we'll pick up. When do I see you again?